Hey guys, welcome to a hot day here in South Carolina, where today we're going to talk about why, after 35-ish years, I have walked away from Holley. Done. And I'm going to tell you all about why.
I'd say it's a nut job.
Alright, so first, I know there's people out there that like for me just to get to the point, but that's not who I am. First, let me tell you why I was in the situation I was in. If you go back a few videos, you'll see where we went out and bought this F100 collection. A bunch of parts and trucks and all kind of things. Well, my very first truck was a 67 F100. That was the very first truck I owned. That started my addiction. Actually, that's what I built my shop on originally, was F100 trucks. In that lot of stuff was a 67 F100. I have a plan of how I want to build that truck. That is kind of a dream vehicle of mine. It takes me back to my youth, and I want to build that truck, but I want to build it the way I want it. So, I have a drivetrain that I want to use for it. It's a more modern drivetrain. I will get into all that in a video when we start building it. But, I was a little confused. You guys know, if you watch me, I'm an old school guy. I'm a carburetor guy, 100%, no exceptions. And you know from the last video where we went out and bought us a Mustang that I'm just starting to try to tip my toe into that modern world. I'm a dinosaur. I live in the old school ways, and that's just how I'm going to live and breathe. But I wanted to go a little more modern with this truck. So on Power Tour, I was given the opportunity, because if you've never been to Power Tour, all these companies will have vendor booths at these different stops. Holley is one of them. Holley's always there. I actually, just so you know, it's just not one of these things where old guys mad at Holley. I actually have a dealer account with Holley. So it's not like I'm just any average, first time talking to Holley kind of guy. I've communicated with Holley a bunch. Again, I have a dealer account with them. So I knew I was going on Power Tour, and I knew they would be there, and it would give me a chance face to face to talk to Holley and say, okay, I'm a little confused. There's several different options here that will do what I'm trying to do, but which one is the best option for what I'm doing? I'm not as good. I'm a carburetor guy. Carburetors, I'll make run. I can make the carburetor do whatever I want to, a carbureted engine, but fuel injection stuff, it's a learning curve for me. I have to sit down and think about it. I know some of you guys, it's firsthand knowledge, but it's not for me. So with these different options that Holley offers, I wanted to talk to them about what would work best for what I was trying to do. Not what would be the easiest way, because I don't mind learning new skills. Actually, I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. That's one of the reasons why I'm going with a more modern engine, is because I want to learn some new skills. So I'm not looking for the easy way out. I'm looking for the absolute best solution to what I'm trying to do. So I knew Holley would be at their Holley booth at Power Tour. So I was going to have a conversation with Holley. So now here we are, the first day of Power Tour. Things were a little hectic. I didn't even try to get over to talk to them. Day 2 of Power Tour. I go up to their booth, and there is four Holley guys there, I think. There may have been more than that, but I seem to remember 4 Holley guys standing there. One guy looked like he was busy with some boxes and stuff, doing something behind the scenes. No problem. Can't remember what the other guy was doing. I think he was handing out stickers or something. I can't quite remember what he was doing, but he was talking to someone. So then that left 2 guys standing there. And they're standing there talking to each other, and just like you're standing right in front of me right now, per se, they were standing there talking to each other. So I walk up to the table, politely stand there for a second, give them a minute. They never acknowledge I'm there. The one guy finally looks around at me and kind of does the hey, you know, that kind of thing. And I stand there for a minute. Somebody, one of the other guys walks over, walks in between them. They start having a conversation. I'm like, you know what? Fine. Maybe they're just busy today. We'll catch up with them later. Day 3 of Power Tour, I go back over. Pretty much a very similar situation. Can never get them to actually communicate with me. Seem to be involved in other stuff. Day 4. We go over there, and this is the day where I really kind of got agitated with them because they were standing at the table just watching people walk around. I walk up to the guy, I look him eye to eye and say, hey bud. He turns around and starts talking to the other guy and never turns back around and acknowledges my existence there. So you know what? 4 days in a row I have tried to talk to these guys. Customer service is everything to me in the world that I do, because a lot of stuff I do, I need to get it done. Now, granted, this was for a personal project for me, so I've got all the time in the world to do it. But the fact that they acknowledged I was there and then turned their back and started talking to each other like I was of no importance to them. Customer service is what it's all about for me. So I left that day and I told my wife, I said, I think I'm pretty much done with Holley. There was another conversation that took place after Power Tour in which I told my story and was basically told, well, you know, sometimes they just get busy. No, you're not busy when you're standing there laughing and joking with each other and ignoring people. That's a completely different thing. So we've made a leap to something else, and I think you probably already know what I'm going to do. I'm putting the 67 project on the back burner because I don't really have time to fool with it right now anyway. And I would like to say I'm going to go with something else to make the fuel injection system work. I don't know yet exactly what it's going to be, but right now my mind's telling me I'm going to fall back on what's easiest for me, and I'm going to put a carbureted intake on that motor, and I'm going to put a carburetor on it. But one thing that is happening is I'm not going to represent someone that I don't believe in the company any longer. And I have been a die-hard Holley guy my entire life. Always. Everything I have runs a Holley carburetor. If I get it and it's got something else on it, I buy a Holley and put on it. I mean, I was die-hard Holley. But I'm not going to represent a product that I don't believe in the company any longer. So, most of you know we've built a big motor now for the Galaxy. And the Galaxy is, ironically, running 2 carburetors now because we've got that trick flow intake on it. We've got to get it back in here and button up a couple things, but we're making a change to it. And one of the changes we're making is the 2 Holleys are leaving. We have 2 other carburetors right here that's going to go on it. I'm going to show you exactly what we're putting on it and more reasons why. So I said customer service is what's important to me. So I reached out to a company and told them that I wanted a matched pair of carburetors. What I wanted, I told them exactly what I wanted as far as size and all. Not only were they very helpful, expedient delivery, and they were very accommodating to me. So now we have a match set of Edelbrock VRS in the 750 flavor. Let me get one of them out of the package and we'll take a look at it. Now, if you've watched one of my other videos, and you probably have, it was a pretty popular video, when we tested a VRS in real world scenarios on a street rod, and a daily driver. We tested it, and it outperformed the Holley in every single scenario. Not only did it start better, cold start better, not only did it have better throttle response, better drivability, it made more power, it ran faster ETs, absolutely everything you can think of, it outperformed the Holley on. Now, you don't have to necessarily take my word for it, because after I done my video, Unity Motorsports done a video in which they dyno tested the VRS against not only Holley, but against professionally built race carburetors with the same results. It made more power throughout the entire curve. But let's look at this thing. If you have not seen the video, this one has never been out of the package here. Let's look at it and see what the differences are and what makes these carburetors so flipping awesome. Get in here and take a look. All right, so first off, a few differences. The bowls on these carburetors are a tad longer. They do hold a little more fuel. They have drain plugs on them. You can put the fuel line on either side. They flip around. 4 corner adjustments. Annular boosters. High and low side air bleeds. I don't know what else you can say. They've got every adjustment you can make. They also have this little nifty thing right here, where if you're trying to run a modern transmission, you can put a throttle position sensor in there so it'll run your modern transmission. I can't stress enough how good these carburetors run right out of the box. The ones that I tried and Unity Motorsports both tested were right out of the box. There's 0 modifications, and they instantly made more power throughout the entire curve. This thing has all the little tricks to it that we used to do for carburetors for years to make them perform better. And I could go through hours of tricks, but I'm not going to. There's plenty of videos out there on them. But what I'm going to say is now I have a matched pair of these that are going on the Galaxy. I now have one of these on our 68 wagon, and there's going to be one of these very soon on the 67 Cougar. Now, the one that's on the wagon was on the Cougar, but we had planned on doing some stuff for Power Tour with that car, so we swapped the carburetors and put the one that we had on the Cougar on the Galaxy. Again, drivability was going a long way. These carburetors are absolutely amazing, and I can't stress enough how good they are. But the important thing to me, like I said earlier when it came to Holley, it's about customer service. Customer service means more to me than anything else. And I'm going to be 100% honest when I say that I was very impressed with this carburetor when I tested it. Very impressed with it. But I had the Holleys on the Galaxy. Why would I take them off to put something else on when I have them on there already? Well, I wouldn't. I was going to leave the Holleys on there and let it be what it was, just because I'm cheap and didn't want to spend the money. Quite honestly, that's what it was. Elderbrock is not paying me anything to talk about these carburetors. They don't even know I'm talking about them. They don't know who I am. But after the customer service issues that I had with Holley, I made the decision that I've always said the only thing that's on my car is stuff that I wholeheartedly believe in. I'm not the guy that sells out to sponsorship money. If it's a company I don't believe in, they could throw all the money in the world at me, and I still wouldn't put them on my vehicle. And that's truly how I feel about it. So when it comes to the Galaxy, I no longer believe in Holley anymore. I no longer really support Holley any longer. Therefore, I'm not going to have them on my car and be giving them free marketing for a product that I don't have any faith in. So with that being said, that is why I chose to switch to the Edelbrock carburetor and go ahead and spend the money on these things. Again, Edelbrock did not give me these carburetors. They are not sponsored in any way. I paid for these carburetors. Let me start off with saying this, and you're just going to have to listen if you want to know the price. You have to compare apples to apples when it comes to carburetors. The closest thing that you can compare these carburetors to is the Holley XP, I believe it is. The Holley XP carburetor is about $1,000. These carburetors are around $800. So if you compare them apples to apples, they're actually cheaper. But I know, I understand, and I was in that same boat where you look at them and go, man, I don't want to spend $800 for a carburetor. I'm with you. I'm in that same boat. That's why I was going to run the Holleys on mine anyway, because honestly, the car runs good with Holleys on it. Never had a problem with Holleys. And when I went to dual carburetors, I've got a ton of Holleys sitting around on the shelves. So for the cost of a rebuild kit to throw in it, $50 a piece or something, for $100, I had a nice set of carburetors on Holley carburetors on the Galaxy. But after what I went through with Holley at Power Tour, I made the decision that I couldn't run that car as much attention. That car has been in magazines. That car has been in pamphlets, papers. That car has actually been in a movie. And anytime it's there, I don't cover up anything on it. The sponsors, the stickers that are on it, everything's very visible. The engine's there, it's very visible. So with the attention that that car gets, I felt like a hypocrite saying that I was no longer going to deal with Holley. But yet, everywhere that car goes, when the hood's up, they see Holley carburetors under the hood. So that's why I made the leap and went ahead and spent the money and went to Edelbrock carburetors, went to these VRS carburetors over the Holleys. Yes, they outperform the Holley in every aspect. Yes, they're a much nicer design. Yes, they have all the bells and whistles. But I just wasn't going to invest that kind of money when the car ran. Again, me being cheap. But I decided that it was more important to me to spend the money and change the carburetors than it was for me to look like a hypocrite and run Holley carburetors after I pretty much said I'm not spending any more money with Holley. I normally don't do any kind of negative videos. I normally don't even allow any kind of negative talk on my YouTube channel, and I'm not really trying to be negative. I'm just letting you know that customer service is not where Holley's heart is, and I would rather deal with a company that service is in their heart. And I can tell you from personal experience, I don't have any investment in them. They don't have any investment in me. They're not sponsoring me in any way. They're not giving me anything for free. I'm not asking them for anything. But what I'm telling you is that Edelbrock has some of the best customer service that I have dealt with. Just thought I would put that out there that apparently Holley is no longer invested in supporting the customers. Their heart now lies in buy my product and leave me alone. And I would rather have somebody that says, what do you need? What can we do to help you? This is the direction my future is going in. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I haven't said it in a while, but thank you for everyone who subscribes, likes, watches, comments, and shares because of the support that you give the channel. It allows me the freedom to do things like replace the carburetors on the Galaxy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do things like that, and it would be one of those where I just had to live with what I dealt with, and I don't think anybody should have to live with someone that don't want to support them. So, God bless you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all your support. We will be getting back to regular, normal car content very soon, hopefully in the next video. You know, I kind of want to take the Mustang to the track and see what it'll run. Kind of got that itch. So, hope the Lord bless you more today than He did yesterday. To Him be all the glory. We will see you guys on the next one.
I'd say he's a nut job.